Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome. We are going to take about 5 minutes just to make sure that everyone who signed up is going to not miss out on anything. So we'll give them 5 minutes to show up and join us.
And hello, familiar names and faces.
In the meantime, where is everybody? Where's everybody coming from? Is everybody in Cape Town? Is everybody, where in the world are you? Maybe you can pop that into the comments while we wait for 5 minutes. I am in the middle of the Karoo, well, almost in the Karoo, just outside of Cape Town. I got this gorgeous fire going, so I'm warm and cozy. Let's see. Let's open that. Oh, we've got an international crowd. That's great. There we go. Okay. Southern suburbs, Cape Town, Fischhoek, Joburg, Fire Ease, lovely, Mar van Zanten. Hello from the Netherlands. St. Francis Bay. Where's that? Sorry, my geography is not great. St. Francis Bay, it sounds familiar. Adam from
South
Cape
Africa.
Town. Yeah, it is in South Africa, but this is like...
Is it Eastern Cape?
From Muses, I like that. Eastern Cape, you got it right.
My geography is terrible, so really proud.
Well done. Okay, where else do we have? Southern suburbs. So we're from a little bit from everywhere, right? And that's great. The more, the merrier. I'm really excited about today's chat with you, Mary, and your presentation about money, money, money.
Found a really fun song I was using on Instagram. It's like a dance song, and it's like, I got your money. And it's got a really positive sound to it. A lot of songs about money are really like either gangster or just very negative.
Yes, that's what I was thinking when I was thinking about your topic. I thought the first thing that came to my mind was this ABBA song, right? Like my Mamma Mia fascination days. And but this was always from a space of lack. A lot of music about money is either from a space of I don't have enough and I really want it, and if I had a little money, life would be better. And so that's the music that we listen to actually has a really profound effect on us. I don't know if everybody knows that, but like music can change my mood in a snap. And if you're listening to music that says I don't have enough, or I'm rolling in the dough and I'm spinning it on, we know the narrative of these songs, then it's that balance. And I'm looking forward to learning from you and changing my shift and my relationship with money. So that's really cool.
It's going to be fun.
1 minute. I shall change my screen in the meantime. I'm going to pop off so that we get on point. All right. There we go. All right. 12:05 on the dot. Welcome to our Conscious Coaches Power Hour. We are a collection of coaches, sages, wise women, wise men, wild people who are learning on our journey and excavating our gifts, our talents, our experiences, and just forging a path, our own path, most of us, and figuring out how do we get to live our purpose. And as we are figuring ourselves out and as we get over our obstacles and overcome challenges, we share it with you, the seeker, so that you don't have to do that hard work that we have already done, and that we can share our experiences with you in a way that helps you grow and that you can see that you are not alone in what it is you are experiencing. We are, if I can get this slide to go further, boom, part of a bigger group, a bigger community called Solo, which means search others and love oneself. And that is a bigger group of coaches and sages and community where people engage and talk. And at the end of our session, I will add more information with regards to Solo so that you can learn how to join the community, how you can join the WhatsApp group, and really just get in there, because there's a lot to offer. And it really just expands also on what it is we are doing on this side with our Conscious Coaches Power Hour. Today has got a really exciting topic, and I'm really excited to bring it to you. It's called Money Alchemy with Mary J. Fourie, who is a financial coach and a lifestyle financial planner. Now, Mary knows how to work with money. Believe me, I've seen it happen. And Money Alchemy is the aim is to transform your relationship to money and manifestation. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to give it over to you, Mary. And just as I said earlier on, before everyone joined, is that our relationship to money is for most of us, it's quite warped. It's either we don't have enough or we have a lot and we kind of save it like squirrels and we don't spend it. And then when we think when we are older, we need to then live this amazing life. Whereas if we change our relationship to money, we can have our cake and eat, we can have it all. And I'm really grateful for you for sharing your skills and your experiences with us. So on that note, I'm going to hand it over to you. You are driving now.
Right. So awesome to be in the seat next to you and make all of your faces bigger on my screen. It's nice not to talk to myself. So, hello. Welcome everybody, sage, seeker, whatever reason called you into this space. Yeah, this is one of my passions. I've been working with money since I was 15 and woke up and was like, no one's just going to give it to me. I need to go out and understand how this works and figure this thing out. And so, yeah, everything about what I'm sharing today is a lifelong journey of my own journey, as well as at some point along the line, someone said to me, like, why don't you work in financial services? You're really good at this stuff. And I remember looking at them and going like, what? That's even an option? I hadn't considered it, but I then was like, let me take a look at this. And so got into financial services, studied a bunch of stuff, realized there were massive, massive gaps in how it's done. And then was like, no, we can do this better. And so my journey has been, you know, how to work with money as human beings and how to work with human beings around their money. I do find it hard now to identify who I am and what I do, because I have explored so many different aspects in the world, from coaching, which as a skill set of communication is really valuable in this space, and then of course all the financial boxes that I needed to tick to be able to work in that space. So they're my corporate world titles, you know, professional certified coach or lifestyle financial planner and advisor, and you know, there's some status and credibility which comes with that. But to be honest, I've started to describe myself as a change maker architect and a transformation junkie, because I feel that best captures the essence of like who I am and what I do in this world, regardless of what space I'm operating in. And I had the most delightful realization this year when it occurred to me that my biggest, and I call it my biggest kink in life, comes from sparking a fire in other people and watching those flames burn as this person embraces their true self, becomes more authentic, expressing who they are, their gifts and their talents in the world, whilst they go after their dreams and goals. And often I'm partnering with them along this journey and helping them work with the money aspect in collaboration with their passion, their purpose, and you know why they're here and what they want to do. So we're going to go on a journey for the next 45 minutes. I'm going to share a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. One of the things I discovered is that it's very easy to give advice and tell people what to do, what financial services does, but that creates inequality in the experience. There's so much information out there. It's not like you don't know what you could be doing with your money or how you could be using and working with your money. So questions I find a much more effective and deeper way to go, well, with this information, what does it mean to me? How do I make sense of it? How do I make meaning of it? And then how do I translate that into the motivation to actually make a change and to do something? So yeah, if you've got a pen and paper around, or if you want to open up a notebook on your laptop and take notes as we go. And if you want to type answers in the chat, whatever thoughts come up when I ask these questions, it's always lovely to hear from you. And it's always lovely for other people to hear your thoughts as well, because we're not alone in this journey of relating to money and trying to balance all these different aspects of life. And yet it often feels like we are alone. And that leads to, yeah, my first topic, which is the biggest money secret. And my first question for you around this topic is, how much money did you make in the past year? And where did you get that money from? Did you earn it? Were you given it? And do you know how much money your friends, your family made in the past year and where that came from? And if not, why not? Like, why don't we talk about money? We've been taught and conditioned by parents, by family, by friends, by society, that money is this huge taboo topic, like almost more taboo than sex these days. Like, we can talk about sex, we can talk about tantra, BDSM, sacred sexuality, all of that. We can't talk about money. And for me, the biggest money secret is that money is no secret. Not a day goes by that we aren't engaging with money or the system in some way. You know, we all make it, spend it, we need it to support and live within the structures of this world that we're in. So for me, the first step, and often it's a big hurdle on the journey of what I'm calling money alchemy, is to start talking about money. You got to start talking with yourself, having conversations with yourself about your own money, and then start finding places where you can talk with others, your friends, therapists, coach, financial advisor, maybe family can often be a hot topic in family. And if you're in business, have you got other business people that you talk about money with? It's also one of the very lonely spaces around money. And if you're not talking about money, what stops you? Like, what specifically for you prevents you from talking about money? Yeah, and I see Linda's sharing there. We compare our worth. That's why we don't talk about it. Yeah. A lot of the external messaging around money and success is that it's about who you are and your worth. Therefore, if I'm earning the X and you're earning Y, or I've spent X and you spend Y, there's now a difference. That's absolute crap. But it's so embedded in the messaging we receive and the belief systems that we need to navigate on this journey. Pauline, easy to talk to self, but not with others. It's seen as private. Yeah. Some companies even have policies around it. Like, you're not allowed to talk about your salaries with anyone. And yet, I know of this one incredible leader, this guy in Brazil. He's been running his business for probably like 40 years now. They have a transparent money policy where there's a computer in, I believe, like one of the lunchrooms somewhere, and you can go and see a database of every single person in the company's salary. So it's completely shared and transparent. And the theory there is that your salary is calculated according to your contribution. And anyone can negotiate their salary at any given time through having the conversation about contribution. And that's radical. absolutely radical. So yeah, let's take a moment and consider. If I asked you to get up now and go tell the next person you see in your day how much money you make, how much you spend, how much you have invested, like, how does it make you feel? What are the thoughts that trigger in your mind? What are the emotions that come up? And then in your body, what sensations do you experience? And where do you experience those sensations? Because when we start talking about money, especially when we're talking to other people, one of the first questions to trip us up is this big question of how much is enough? And it's huge because it's actually really important to know how much is enough. And the reason why it's also huge is because it's different, it's personal. My enough is going to be different to your enough. Every single one of us in this room is going to have a different number. And that is also what makes it hard, because you can't compare yourself to another person. It's not, the playing field is not level. And so one of the big questions we need to ask ourselves is, how much money is enough for me? How much is enough today, this week, this month? How much is enough to pay for my life for as long as I live? How much is enough to survive? How much is enough to thrive? And how will I know when I get there? We're not very good at setting milestones and actually measuring and acknowledge, like, oh wow, I'm here. I'm somewhere I wanted to be. So this journey of transforming your relationship to money and manifestation involves defining your personal "this is enough" number. And it's a number that's meaningful to you, the way that you see the world, that allows you the choices that you want for your life. It's about how much you need to live and operate within the money system. And it's not just about survival. For me, it's really about thriving. And thriving being, how can you be the most energized, resourced version of yourself so you can live your purpose, you can offer your gifts, your talents to the world, you can create experiences with the people you love. And Linda's sharing, imagine governments and world banks were transparent about money. Wow. Imagine the conversations about money that happen that we don't know about. Because there are a lot of people in the world that are having big, big conversations about money. Yes, I will touch on a little bit on manifestation. And why for me, I'm calling this money alchemy, is because it's this blend of all of who we are. Often money is seen as a very left brain, logical, practical thing. And then if we're spiritual people, we can reject money and feel like, no, like I can't do that because I'm creative and I'm spiritual, or money's evil and bad. And yet the journey is about wholeness, integrating all of it. Money alchemists know why. They know why they want money. They know why they make money. And they know why they spend their money. Do you know why? Most of us don't. We don't sit down and consider that question. Why is one of the most powerful questions in the world. And knowing why helps you make better decisions about your money. You've got a reason, you've got a motivation for making aligned choices. And for me, aligned choices, again, are so personal. It comes back to what brings me joy, what brings me meaning, what brings me a feeling of purpose and fulfillment in my life, which is going to be different to yours and the next person's. So knowing your why helps keep you inspired, motivated, and committed. I mean, those are often the things I hear people say on this journey. It's like, I don't have the discipline, I don't have the self-control, I don't have the commitment. But if you haven't got the why, it's almost impossible to commit to making different choices with your money, and to even create a strategy for what you want to do with your money. So why do you want money? And if you have an inkling or an idea and you want to share, feel free to add into the chat. And Meklity, you're saying money has a lot to do with one's emotional state. Oh, definitely. Our emotions do play into, well, the why, for starters. It's an emotional why. I might have a why because I want to take care of my family and I want to give my kids the best education. I might have a why because I want to create a legacy and a foundation to help other people. Those are all emotional, and humans are emotional. We like to pretend we're not and hide it, some of us. But emotions definitely impact. In shaman, money was always considered evil in older times, especially by our elders. Yeah, we've belief systems around money, different time periods, different cultures, different areas of the world, all influence our own personal relationships with money because money's been embraced and used and abused in so many different ways. So that's why for me, coming back to like, why do you want it? Why is it right for you to have a ton of fucking money? All the money you could imagine. What would you do with it? You had all the money in the world. Because I bet every single person in this room would do something amazing. You wouldn't hoard and be selfish with it. You would be sharing it. And you'd be living a beautiful life and sharing that and bringing other people into it. And yes, operating from a state of lack, again, so much programming that we grow up with, which makes us feel like there is not enough and there will never be enough. So coming back to why can help us start to focus ourselves on ourselves, our path, and get a little bit closer to, well, maybe there is enough for why I want money. Or maybe there is a way that I can generate and manifest and create enough for what I want to do in this world. What drives your spending? Why do you spend on the things that you do? How do you make choices about what you need, what you desire? Do you differentiate between those? Do you spend money on things, people, and experiences that add joy and meaning to your life? Does your spending align with your values? Do you know what your values are? Can you articulate them? Could you share them? Like those that work with money and call themselves money alchemists, or don't even call themselves that, but just experience flow and ease with money, know why they spend. They've spent time getting curious. They've explored their mindset being emotions, being thoughts, being belief systems, and they've explored their spending habits. So they've gone and looked at their behaviors around money. They've looked at what got me here and is here where I want to be. And if I want to be somewhere else in the future, I want to grow, I've got goals. Continuing to do what I do, is that going to get me there? Or is there something else I need to do? I think it was Einstein who defined insanity being doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And yet so many of us do that unconsciously because we don't stop and take stock. And we don't ask that question of, if I want to create something new in my life, or I have a dream and goal I want to aspire towards, is what I'm doing now and continue to do going to be adding and helping me get there? And yeah, and money's a tool. Exactly. Money has no meaning. It's just a tool. It's just a thing. Yet we give it so much meaning and so much power over ourselves, over our lives. But it takes a lot to shift and to see it as a tool, to see it as a form of energy, just another force that moves through this world. So looking deeper into the motivations of why you spend will help you uncover your current thoughts, your current feelings and habits, those that created this world that you're in right now, this moment that you're in. And you can start today. The first thing I get anyone to do when I talk to them about money is go look at what got you here. And the easiest way to do that is go back 3 months. You know, you can set a money date with yourself this evening, and you can do it digitally or you can do it physically. You can print out 3 months worth of bank statements, credit card statements. You can go download them and build a spreadsheet and go and look at every single line item. Like, go through the process of acknowledging, I spent this on this day. I spent this on that day, and money came in here from there on that day. In this digital world we live in, we can just tap and pay for something. We're so disconnected from the value of money, and we're so disconnected from the experience of the exchange of value. What we're agreeing to when we just tap our phone for something. So actually going and confronting, and it is confrontational. So my invitation is, whatever your favorite drink and snack of choice is, it's a glass of red wine and a slab of chocolate. Like, sit by the fire, make it a little romantic money date with yourself, and just look at where you are right now. And consider questions like, how much do I spend every day? How much do I spend every week? How much do I spend every month? Like, add up your transactions, put them into categories. How much do I spend on groceries? How much do I spend on entertainment? How much do I spend on fuel, transport, kids, pets, household? And look, do I spend the same amount every day, week, month? Why or why not? You may start to notice patterns. A lot of us and our money habits, we have patterns. You know, and a lot of those patterns involve big amounts of money. Yay. It's a big number in my bank account at the beginning of the month or the end of the month. Then the debit orders go off. Then I have this pot left. And then for the first 2 weeks, I'm really comfortable with money. It's not an issue. And then that last week or two of the month, suddenly everything contracts, where that number is getting smaller and smaller, and I'm starting to get more and more stressed about that payday that's gotta come sooner, quicker, faster. Oh yay, payday's 25th is on a Sunday. We'll get paid on the 23rd on a Friday. I scored 2 days. And the cycle repeats and repeats and repeats. And it doesn't have to be like that. It can be a much more exciting, interesting, and even pleasurable experience when it comes to our money. And then, what other patterns do you notice in your spending? Are there certain times of day, certain shops? I've worked with clients where, certain habits they had, like after work every day, I'd go to this place and I'd buy a coffee, and I'd go to the Woolworths cafe to buy a coffee, and then I'm at the Woolworths, so I buy something for dinner, and then I'm standing in the aisle and I'm hungry, and suddenly every single day I'm spending a couple of $100, and you add that up 20 days a month, and oh my gosh, I thought I was spending 5,000 Rand on groceries a month, but actually I'm spending 15. Real story. I've sat with people and had this conversation. And we just recognized there was a pattern, there was the habit. And can we change the habit? What would be a more serving habit? If I could choose, what would it be? So look for patterns, and then how do you feel about what you noticed? Again, check in with yourself. Check in your body. What's going on there? And not to shame yourself. There's no shame. You're doing a reality check. This is where I am right now. Okay, now you've got ground zero. From that point, you have so much more choice about where you want to go. And some people will find this really, really hard to do and just will put their heads in the sand like an ostrich, come up with a million reasons why it can't be done, and procrastinate. And that's okay. It happens. But get curious, what story are you telling yourself? What story are you telling yourself about yourself, about money, about other people, about life? Because humans are amazing storytellers. And I mean, gosh, I trained storytelling in corporate once. Like, it's become one of these powerful skills we need to learn. We don't need to learn it, we do it all the time. We tell ourselves a lot of stories about money, about ourselves. We tell these stories to other people. And are they helpful stories? Or are they stories that are keeping us stuck, keeping us playing small, disempowering us? And some of these stories are like phrases and words like, things that we've heard growing up, things that we've read in literature. Money doesn't grow on trees. You know, what's it? Money is the root of all evil, i.e., rich people are evil. And there's many, many, many more. If you can think of any, type them in the chat. It's always fascinating to see what other people have grown up with. And these things become our narrative. They become essentially our habits, our behaviors with money. And they directly impact how we feel about how much we have or don't have and what we do about that. So what we can do when we're going and doing that reality check and you're looking at the way you've been spending is to go, what story does my spending tell me? Because your spending tells a story. And I've seen some incredible stories in people's bank accounts. Give me anybody's bank accounts and I can pick up the patterns. And I had someone apply for a flat once, and the story that they wanted to rent an apartment that I own. And the story that their bank account told me was they get paid on the 25th, and on the 26th of the month, they draw all the cash out of their bank account, and then their debit orders bounce on the 1st. And I remember sitting there as landlord going, you sent me this bank statement telling me this story, and you're hoping that this story is going to convince me to trust you to pay me monthly to live in my apartment. But I don't think they've ever considered what the story is that their money tells. And I chose not to be part of their story because it doesn't need to be my story. Other questions you can ask, things like, what do I spend the most on? You know, again, am I spending this money, the things that I'm spending the most on things, experiences, and people that I value the most? Do I spend money on specific days of the week or the month, and why? What are the stories I'm telling to justify the reasons why I spend my money the way that I do? And is this a story I want to continue to tell and to write moving forward? You know, is this the story of an intentional, purpose-driven money manifesto? And if not, what story do I want to write? And what am I willing to do, to change, to write a new chapter? Because the hard truth is that money is not equal to happiness. Happiness can be a result that comes when you use your money in alignment with your most important values. And I do believe your happiness or the joy or satisfaction you feel increases when you're spending money on things, people, and experiences that mean something to you. But you get millionaires who are miserable. They have all the money in the world and they're alone, they're bored, they're unsatisfied. And then you can get millionaires who are happy. And those are often ones who have wanted to make and spend money in a way that fulfills them, that aligns with some kind of purpose. Like I love to call people that live with purpose and intention change makers. You know, people that want to effect some kind of change in the world. So on this money journey, what is your purpose? What gifts, skills, and talents do you have to offer to the world? What fulfills you? What do you enjoy doing? With whom? Because you're not going to become happy by becoming a millionaire, but you can become a happy change-making millionaire by discovering what makes you happy and by using your money to support that and those experiences. So, money alchemy, what is it? For me, I'm defining it as a transformation of our own consciousness to create financial abundance. And what that's really about is transforming any limiting beliefs we might have, any negative emotions, as well as unproductive habits, into a mindset and practices that attract wealth and create financial freedom. Whatever financial freedom means to you, that's going to be connected to your dreams, your goals, your purpose, your enough number. And there's some key principles. First one is that it's about inner transformation first. So money alchemy recognizes that lasting financial change starts inside of us. So shifting our consciousness, our beliefs, our relationship with money first. Then there's an aspect of energy and vibration. So like attracting like. So how can we cultivate an energy of abundance? And there's so many different practices that we can use. to do that. Again, shifting our beliefs and our mindsets, things like gratitude, visualization, positive affirmations, being in the spiritual side of the world, a lot of us are familiar with that, but it's not only about that. Mindful manifestation, do you have clear financial goals? Are you taking aligned action? And it's not just about, I have a goal and I want that thing. You've got to take action. You've got to physically do something in the world to direct that energy in the towards the goal you want. And you need to remain open and flexible to opportunities and trust the process in the way that the universe delivers. Transmuting limiting beliefs, so identifying and consciously replacing anything that's not serving you, whatever you brought with you up until this point. So some of those thoughts around money is the root of all evil, going back into your family, looking at how was money handled in the family. How did my parents work with money? What was their relationship to money like? What was it like being a child in this household, growing up with money? And choosing empowering ways and beliefs that you want to work with money moving forward. Then emotional intelligences. Yes, the emotions again. Understanding your emotional relationship with money. Things like fear, scarcity, guilt, and building strategies, building support systems around those, shifting those emotions, and being able to make and support yourself to make emotionally intelligent financial choices, whether it's in spending or investing, building towards your future. Then the law of circulation. Money is an energy, it likes to flow. And part of that is in the giving and the receiving. I mean, one of the most physical things we do with money is we hold on to it. But if we aren't open, if money is not flowing, we can't receive, our hands are full. So generosity, conscious spending, investing, keeping the money circulating, but in ways that are aligned with who we are. And that's the last one, spiritual alignment. Money is a tool to support your life purpose, what's meaningful and fulfilling to you, creating a positive impact in your life and the lives of those around you. So in order to become a money alchemist, I've distilled it down to 8 key money skills. They are in 2 categories. The first is to create and nurture a healthy money mindset. And then the other category is creating and maintaining healthy money habits. So it's the internal manifesting into the external. Money mindset includes how I feel about money. So digging into that emotional side, building up our emotional intelligence, building up our resilience around money. How I think about money, the thoughts that we have, the beliefs, the narratives. What I believe, separated narratives and what I believe about money. Is there enough? Is there not enough? Am I allowed to have it? Am I worthy to have it or not? What I tell myself and others about money. How am I communicating? Words create worlds. Thoughts become things. Part of manifestation is what we speak into life. So how am I having conversations about money? Then on the habit sides, how am I making my money? I don't believe we all have to make money from our purpose and passion. You could choose to have a corporate job that pays you a salary, and then you've got a side gig where you channel purpose and passion into. And for some of us, we'd like to earn from our purpose and passion too. But there's no wrong answer. What's right for you? How I spend my money? What are the things influencing those decisions and choices? How I keep my money? Different skill, strategic skill. And how I grow my money? Different to keeping it. It's easy to stash money under a mattress or put it in a jar, but is that money going to work for you? Is it growing whilst you're living and working in life? So what do you desire? You could change one thing about your relationship to money, what would it be? Love to hear from you. Share in the chat. And if anyone wants to unmute and share, you're welcome to as well. To be less unconscious about it, yeah, because most of us are. Stop unnecessary spending, yeah. Not be afraid to receive, yes. For most creative entrepreneurs, one of our biggest hurdles is around receiving money and charging our value and worth. Learn to be responsible. Yeah, and what does responsible mean to you? Consistency in the flow, both in and out. Yes. Self-employed entrepreneurs, our money journey is like this. And I work a lot with entrepreneurs, the change makers, and a lot of the strategies we put in place are, how do we deal with the roller coaster? Like, let's first accept that that's part of the journey. And can we put strategies in and support systems that can make it feel less bumpy? Not to have fear around it. Yeah, be a lot of fear around money. Better understand the law of circulation. Money is a flow. One of the videos I watched once was Oprah talking to this one guy, and they were talking about resistance and acceptance and change. And they described flow states as flow states and flow, whether you inflow in life or inflow with money, as the flow is literally here, like right next to your head. And yet so many of us are like, no, I want to stay in this lane, when there might be just one or two little things to shift in our mindset and our habits to step to the side and embrace that flow. So money alchemy is not about chasing riches. It's not about, oh, let's make a bunch of millions and get rich quick. It's about transforming your relationship with money from the inside out, which means freeing yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, so you can manifest the abundance you desire. And for me, abundance is more than just money. It's a quality of life. It's the lifestyle. It's the people, the experiences, the things that bring you joy, meaning, fulfillment every day. So this is the work that I do. I could talk about this for hours and hours and hours. And one of the things I have been working on recently is a new journey. I work with individuals, I work with couples, and yeah, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, there's a lot of deep diving that needs to be done. And what is so important to me is this talking about money, community, these spaces, this Conscious Coaches Power Hours being one of my big projects for the year, with my co-conspirators in the room. And so I'd love to invite you to a 7-month group journey in community to work on transforming your consciousness towards creating financial abundance. We are going to dive into all sorts of things around unearthing, what are these limiting beliefs? What are these emotions? What are these habits that I have that I want to transform? And each month has got a theme. You're going to start with money foundations and security, building blocks. We're going to look at pleasure, abundance, and flow. We're going to look at power, self-worth, and how that impacts manifestation. Love, compassion, generosity. Money is a tool for good. Authentic expression of self desires and communication, intuition, vision, and financial wisdom. Because when you learn to tap into your own intuition and wisdom and what's right for you, you can find that alignment with money, and it flows. And your connection to a higher purpose and spiritual abundance, like the big why, the big why, the big legacy question. If you could have all the money in the world and make the biggest impact you could, what would that be? I want to start beginning of September. It feels like the right time of year. It is spring, the sun is coming back, the warmth hopefully will be coming back because it has been so cold this winter. And we will continue until the end of March. There's going to be a group session every single month, and there will be 2 individual sessions as well, where I will sit with you and we will look at data, we will ask questions, we will explore your goals, we will be able to talk about any individual support that you need. I've got amazing money, emotional intelligence, and self-discovery assessments that provide quick insight into some of the unconscious stuff. I've got practical money management templates and tools, and we will have a WhatsApp community to stay connected and share and learn from each other and support each other. Accountability is one of the fabulous benefits from community, and cheerleaders, having people with pom-poms who can celebrate you along the way. There's a registration link there. We do need to get a newsletter out, and we will share more on the socials and with anyone who has registered. And if you've got any questions, you're welcome to ask now. Sometimes we don't want to ask questions publicly, so you're also welcome to email or contact me via WhatsApp. But if you were to answer the question, what are you leaving with here today? Like, what one insight has landed for you, and what one thing could you start doing? What is that? And are you willing to share that in the chat or unmute and talk? Linda, know your why. And Shaman, I love what you're saying here. Believing in yourself, striving your best at all times, effort in also equals gains reached, also giving as much as you can to those in need. Yeah, we're social beings. Connection. Pauline saying money is not a secret. Yeah. Anybody else? Thoughts, questions, comments? Look at your story. Love stories. So much in a story. Meg saying, I love to see people open to the new paradigm of money and relationship to money. Yeah, it's my favorite thing. I mean, I have so many favorite things, but definitely one of my favorite things to talk about. Because it's all connected as well. Your relationship to money, your relationship to self, your relationship to other people, to sex, to pleasure, it's all connected. And it all deserves your love and attention. Like, I love describing money as something you're in relationship to, but do you ever sit and nurture that relationship? Do you treat it like any other relationship in your life? You know, you could sit and ask money, like, money, what do you want from me? What do you need from me? Am I giving it to you? And set money dates. Like, treat it as important as you would spend time with your closest loved ones. Building support systems. Yeah. Support systems are community, and then practical support systems around how you track and spend money. Financial products are support systems. Unfortunately, in South Africa, we had it the wrong way around for a very long time. Some still do. We try to give it to you first. The last thing on the list. You need to know who you are and why you want money first. And build a plan and relationship to it. Then you can figure out if you need a financial product. Okay, well, that is all from me. I'm going to stop sharing. If anyone wants to share anything else, you're welcome to hop in.
Oof, Mary.
Hello.
That has been, wow, so many powerful questions. So many questions to just, it's so confronting. That's the other thing. These questions are very confronting. It's very like, you have to look at it, you know, because what I'll speak for myself. Like, what I generally do is like, I just tap, 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 tap. And then, you know, at some point you kind of hope for the best when you're tapping, you're like, ooh, you know. And these questions are incredibly confronting. I was like, where do you spend your money? And you're right, with that person, that client that you had with the coffee and the this is and the that, and you're thinking you're just buying even just a 50 rand coffee, because that's what a good coffee costs, right? A 50 rand coffee every day adds up. And then we don't think we're spending that money. And this is definitely a date.
And for me too, it's not to say you can't have the coffee. Like a lot of financial planning goes, make small, contract, budget. I call it a spending plan. And I'm like, you want the coffee. How much do you want to spend on the coffee? Like set a target and then allocate that and give yourself permission. But be conscious, make it a conscious decision. It's not just, oh, oops, I spent 1,000 rand on coffee this month. It's like, yes, I chose to spend 1,000 rand on coffee, and I'm putting money into my long-term savings and investments, and I'm paying down my debt, and I donated money to the animal shelter. Like be intentional so you can have that satisfaction of, I'm doing all the things that are important to me.
I think that's also why a lot of people are, for lack of a better word, are afraid of financial advisors, because they kind of cramp your style. They take all the fun stuff away, and now all you have to do is like save and save and save. And it's like, I actually don't want to do that. So I'm not going to go to you, and I'll just stay in this really gnarly cycle and kind of cross my fingers towards the end of the month that the card will still work, because I don't want the restrictions. You're right. I do want the coffee, but how to work around that? I think it's the and. It's not either or, it's and. Oh, be careful, we might talk about polyamory just now. Okay, I'm going to next time. All right.
You gotta be polyamorous, you need the money for that too. It's a whole other conversation.
Absolutely. Yes, there's a whole different conversation that we will make space for in the future. I'm very sure of it. All right. Mary, thank you for, wow, this was amazing. I'm just going to continue our thing and share my screen again, if it works. Come on, honey, you can do it. There we go. All right, so thank you everyone for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks, and we will share all the information and details with regards to what we will be dealing with or chatting about in the next slide. Where did Jan go? Jan, where's your slide? Next up, in the next 2 weeks, we have got Jan Moret, who's a journey facilitator and guide. Jan does amazing work. If you have a moment, go and look him up on Instagram or Facebook or that kind of things. The full moon ceremonies and the journeys that he offers is just phenomenal. I've heard from people who has attended. I've tried, but I've not been able to get there for various reasons. But Jan's work, and he's got a lot of clips, he's got a lot of information out there to show you what kind of work it is he does do. And he's on the 28th of August, which is 2 weeks from now. And we'll see you right here. Hopefully it's warmer and cozier. And we come from all over the world to come and share and sit in with Jan and hear what he does have to share with us. Thank you everybody for joining us, and have a fantastic, fantastic day and week, and make that money date. Don't hang up and like just business as usual. Like just after you hang up, just sit down for 2 ticks and just look at your calendar and say, this is when I'm going to do it, and park it there. So that, and put an alarm so that you know that this is the day that I'm going to sit down and commit to that, and just look. You don't have to do anything other than look, and then call Mary. All right, everyone.
Have a beautiful afternoon.
Ciao, everybody. Thank you.